Vaccination teams going door to door in Pakistan. They're part of an immunisation drive against polio. But these health workers also need protection. Over the past decade, more than 100 vaccinators have been killed in targeted attacks, fuelled by conspiracy theories and misinformation. Hostile anti-vaxxers are a public health threat in Pakistan in need of an antidote, especially as the country prepares for mass immunisations against COVID-19. Phase 3 trials are underway here for Chinese vaccine developer CanSinoBio, but researchers are still encountering mistrust and fear.
With this kind of work, there are always misconceptions. In fact, anything you do for the first time, you will come across people who have this fear factor.
Part of the problem is our fundamentalist people who are trying to inculcate some superstitions and myths into this, that the component of vaccine might be porcine, it is whether halal or haram, and then maybe that's the reason why we're still struggling with the polio vaccine.
When it comes to the coronavirus, Pakistani authorities are also struggling to communicate the dangers and the urgent need to stamp it out. In a recent poll, more than a third of Pakistanis said they'd refuse any COVID vaccine that became available.
For more, let's bring in Shamil Shams from DW Asia. Shamil, 2 vaccines approved for emergency use so far, but how does the government plan to convince people to take them?
Well, I think the government has not been doing much to convince anyone. First of all, we know that 2 vaccines have been approved by the government, but we do not know how is the government going to vaccinate such a big population. So unlike India, where we see the state-run vaccination drive is happening at the moment, we don't see anything in Pakistan. We don't even know when the vaccines will be available in the market. Is it going to be a private sector drive? Is it going to be a state-run drive? We are clueless. At the same time, so many people are reluctant to get vaccinated. They don't believe that coronavirus exists. So we see that there is virus skepticism in Pakistan. So it will be very hard for the government to convince people to get vaccinated. We don't see a mass drive happening. Well, the purchases have not been done at the moment. So it's all very chaotic, and we see that the government does not have a plan.
You spoke of skepticism in general when it comes to the question of vaccines and vaccination in Pakistan, and one immediately thinks of the polio vaccination drive and the troubles that it has faced in Pakistan in the past. Can you explain for us, Shamil, why there is such general distrust of vaccines in Pakistan?
We have to understand that Pakistanis, as a nation, they love conspiracy theories. And it is happening, it happens in South Asia, but in Pakistan, it's more profound. Most people believe that it is a Western conspiracy. They also believe that Bill Gates is trying to get some chips in their bodies with COVID vaccine. We see that the clergy, the Islamic clerics are against it. They have been sermonizing against the vaccines as if it is a halal or a haram issue. Many people believe that it is not halal, it is forbidden by Sharia. What happened, as we see increasing attacks all the times on polio workers, because there is a skepticism that the Western agents come to Pakistan and they try to use these vaccination drives to further their agenda. What happened, we must not forget that when Osama bin Laden, the former Al-Qaeda leader, was assassinated by US troops in 2011, there was a polio vaccination drive where Shakil Afridi, who is incarcerated in Pakistan, was allegedly involved as a spy for the CIA. So many people in Pakistan believe that Western countries are behind these campaigns to further their agenda. or to make them non-Muslims. So all sorts of conspiracy theories in Pakistan are ripe.
Meanwhile, Shamil, coronavirus cases continue to rise in Pakistan. How is the government coping?
Not coping at all, Baresh, because as I said earlier, we don't see any proper plan by the government. We don't have the vaccines at the moment. We don't know when are they going to come to Pakistan. There is no social distancing. There is no government will to tell people to maintain social distance. There is no lockdown. The businesses are open. The shops are open. People are mingling. Weddings are taking place. So nothing has been seen by the government in that direction.
Shamil Shams from DW Asia, thank you very much.